Now my honor to introduce the Mayor of the City of New York, the Honorable Eric Adams.
Good evening, officers. Let that sink in for a moment. Officers, you are entering the department at probably the best time to enter DOC. To have Commissioner Molina and Chief Stooks as partners, and to have someone that adorned that blue uniform like you once. There's a new energy that you are going to receive that many who have been in this department for far too long did not receive. The Department of Corrections was always treated with a level of hidden racism. Too many people felt if you look to the left of you and the right of you, you are going to see that predominantly black and brown people are officers. And then when you walk inside the facilities, you're going to see behind those cell blocks and doors, black and brown people who came from your neighborhoods. And the atmosphere in this city is, who cares what happens to them? Who cares if they assault each other? Who cares if it becomes a revolving door of broken promises? Who cares about them? Who cares that 30% of the men and women you're going to see are dyslexic? Who cares if 55% of them have learning disabilities and never had an opportunity to start out? Who cares that 65% of black and brown children never reach proficiency, and if you don't educate, you will incarcerate? Who cares that they are in homeless shelters, and if you're not likely to have a home, you're more likely to not graduate from high school and being on an endless pathway? Who cares? We have abandoned New Yorkers, particularly those who are black, brown, and immigrant. And then we turn them over to you. And we expect you to work miracles when no one else did their basic job and duties so they don't have to end up as C-95. It's an awesome responsibility you have. And I'd be damned if I'm going to ignore the reality that we put you in a difficult environment and expect for you to do your job and not come home to your families. It's unacceptable. When I retired 22 years ago, and I hugged my mother after my retirement, after those 22 years in the department, she collapsed in my arms. She did every tour with me. She felt my pain. She felt my anger. And part of my career, I believe, took years away from her life from the stress. So yes, you got here. You earned the amount of time in the academy, but it is the group of people on both sides of this aisle that's going to do those doubles with you, that's going to worry about you when you go across that bridge to Rikers Island. You must take care of yourself. Care, custody, and control. Care is caring for yourselves. Do your own moments of reflection and calmness. Look into breathing exercises and meditation. Reconnect yourself with your religious belief and faith, because you're entering an environment where you're going to see people who have done the worst things to themselves and to others. And if you engulf that, you're going to become part of the evils of our city, and if not of our country. Custody, be in custody of your emotions. Don't allow yourself to be drawn into people who are in pain. Broken babies become broken adolescents and become broken adults to be in a broken system. Don't let it break you. Stand firm on your commitments and your dedication. Don't become what you dislike. And finally, control. have to be control of ourselves. I use the term all the time, emotional intelligence. We need to know when we are at the end of our ropes, when we can't go on, and create the atmosphere that we can do our jobs. We're no good to anyone if we're not good to ourselves. It's a challenging moment. You're reading the papers. You see how people are stating, although you are assaulted, although you do triples, although you give all that's possible to do your job, patrolling the most difficult streets in our nations, our jails, no one seems to care. They write you off, they disregard you. They have the audacity not to give you the supplies and equipment you need when COVID hit the jails. But that was then. This is now. One of your own is the mayor of the city of New York. And you will be respected, you will be protected, and you will have the authority to do your job. And this is a covenant. You do your job in a fair, safe way to protect not only your colleagues, but the inmates who are trying to serve their time, and the civilian population. You're going to have a mayor that has your back. You're going to have a mayor that will have your back. But if any way you abuse the power of that shield, if you put your fellow colleague in danger, if you allow a prisoner to be abused or assaulted, if you sit back and don't protect the civilian staffers who are behind those gates with you, then you will not be serving in this department. This department is made up of the boldest. You must be bold to go into an environment where you are now in care and control and custody of people who are broken. I am asking you to join me in bringing back our city to a level of normality. I'm asking you to make sure that we start the process of not only using our jails to hold people who have broken the law, but use those moments like I saw Chief Stukes use. Sister, don't take that baby out of here. Let that baby cry. Babies are doing what they're supposed to do. Adults are not doing what they're supposed to do. When I walked through the facilities with Chief Stukes, and I saw how he treated those prisoners with dignity and respect. Because you broke the law should not mean we break you as an individual. And when I decided to bring on Commissioner Molina, the first Latino to be in head of the corrections department, and I sat down and heard his life story, and I realized that he is of you. When I walked through the facilities and received texts and communication from the women who are in the facility, look on this stage and see how many women are in ranking positions. This agency is predominantly black, brown, and overwhelmingly women who are committed and dedicated. Because there, by the grace of God, go I, arrested at 15, beat by police officers. Didn't say, woe is me. I said, why not me? Went into the agency and fought for reform. But public safety must match justice, and justice must match public safety. You can't have one without the other. And so those who don't understand, I'm not going to live in a city where 19-year-old girls are shot while they're working in Burger King. I'm not going to live in a city where 11-month-old babies are shot. I'm not going to live in a city where a 22-year-old child was assassinated and his partner. It's unacceptable. We deserve better. We're going to get better. And when you walk down those steps, the 75 of you, 9 of you are filling the legacy of your family members who are already here. When you came into this building and I saw you marching, the question mark that lingered over our city, will we be all right? You straightened that question mark to an exclamation point, and you said, you're damn right we're going to be all right. And we're going to be a city where we are safe and prosper. And I'm proud of you. On behalf of all New Yorkers that believe in justice and safety, I say thank you. People will criticize you. They will attack you. They will Twitter you, Instagram you, Facebook, just as they did to me. But at the end of the day, I'm the mayor.